Hello, everyone. Doug Thompson here, Bottom Line University and the Impact Initiative Program. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the situation that you might be in when you're in a listing presentation and the client says to you, I've got lots of time, I'm not in a hurry, and time's on my advantage, and I don't want to move for a while yet anyways. And hypothetically, the exercise we're going to look at today is, say that example, we're in the middle of January, and they say they want to move by the 1st of May. Now, and I know, that's not a lot of time. That's very tight as far as timing goes. So we have to be able to show the customer how we're going to be able to do that. How we're going to do that, though, is with the power of the financial, or I should say, the timing analysis is what we're going to work on that. So let's go ahead and start off and look at the actual presentation as if we were going through it step by step. And then they're going to give us that seduction, and then we're going to know what to do and how to handle it. So hypothetically, we're moving along in the presentation. We've got ourselves started and we've done our introduction. We've went through our process and we've started addressing our concerns. And then we come to the last question, which is the power question, of course, within addressing your concerns is, what would it take to get your home listed with me today? And they all of a sudden say, well, it's not that I don't want to list with you, but I think I got lots of time. Time's on my side. And you say, oh, so it's timing then, right? Okay, perfect. Well, let's go ahead and write that down, and I'll make a note of that, and then we'll go ahead from there and we'll be able to deal with it. Fair enough? Okay, good. Now you're going to continue on. You're not going to handle it right there unless they, get really persistent and demanding about the time. Then you might go ahead and handle it there. But we're going to usually set it aside, use the set it aside technique, and we're going to move forward to be able to actually deliver to the end of the presentation, and then we're going to handle it. And you'll see what I mean in a minute, okay? So if we could handle the timing situation a little bit later in the presentation, would you be okay with that? You would? Okay, great. That's called the set it aside technique. Now, let's continue on. We're going through our presentation. We've got up, we've looked at the home, everything's went well. We went and talked a little bit more about our marketing plan and the 3 different areas we're going to cover off on. We've talked about our company and all of the different points within our company. We've went ahead and talked about our customized marketing plan and all the different points within our customized marketing plan that are important to us. We've went ahead and talked about us, you, of course, as the realtor, and what's important to you in those particular points. And we go through all of those. And then we're going to come to the important question, right? We all know what this is. If you're okay with my company, my marketing plan, and me, and assuming we could agree on a price now, would you go ahead and list your home with me today? And they say, yes, everything looks really good. I'm really happy with what you presented, but it looks to me like I still have lots of time. So I'm just not in a hurry. So, I'm going to have to wait. You're going to say, okay, no problem. I understand. Let me ask you this question. If I showed you beyond a shadow of a doubt that you don't have as much time as you think you have, would you consider to go ahead and actually list your home with me today? You would? Okay, good. Let me do that then. Have you ever heard of the real estate timing analysis? No, what's that? Okay, well, let's have a look at it and then we'll explain, and maybe it'll make a lot of sense to us. Fair enough? Great. So we go up here, gang, to the hot button section, and we drop down to where it says real estate timing analysis, and we click on the real estate timing analysis. Now, here is the analysis that we're going to go through. Now, this exercise is done on your talking pad, meaning the notepad that you have that you're making all your notes on. So you just write on your talking pad, as an example, time or wait time. But first, they have told you that they're thinking, here we are in the middle of January, and they're thinking that they want to move by the 1st of April. So write those 2 dates down on your talking pad before we get started. Okay, so now, what do we say? Middle of January, 1st of April. Now, wait time. So when we look at wait time, they say to us, well, then we got to ask the question. So if you had a choice, what would you do? Well, I'd probably wait another 30 days or so before we get excited. Okay, great. So that's going to take us till when? Middle of February. Fair enough. So then right here where it says days, of course, we're going to write 30 days there. And then next to here is the date. We're going to move ourselves ahead to hypothetically that it now is going to say what? Middle of February or 15th of February. Fair enough. Good. Now we're looking at marketing time. Well, right now today, as the example I'm going to use, is the average days on the market right today is 32 days in the market that I'm working in. So here I would write 32 days. And that's going to take me over now until the middle of March. and a little bit more. So the 17th of March, I would put here. So that moves me ahead a little bit more. Everybody with me? Now, adjusted marketing time. What does that mean? The adjusted marketing time, it has to be put in there for two specific reasons. Number one is that the average days on market in your computer is not 100% accurate. And here's why. Number one, the expired listings. Because if the expired listings continue to play all the way through, the average days number would be higher. Makes sense? I hope you agree. The second one is cancellations. The cancellation situation does exactly the same thing. If somebody cancels a listing and it stops, then that stops the computer from calculating the true average days on the market. So to be accurate on that, what I like to do is I like to use a rule of thumb of approximately 50%. So now when we look at that as 50%, we're going to put in here now 16 more days because that's half of 32. So if we were looking at March 17th, I'm sorry, and we put in there 16 days, well, that's going to take us ahead now until April. It's going to be in the middle of April, going to be April, what, 3rd? So we're going to write in there April 3rd as far as the date goes. Now, processing time, that's the amount of time it's going to take you to be able to, in your market today, when it's not a fire hot market, and you have all the multiple offers and everything taking place, you have a normal market, you'll have about 10 days, we're going to say as today's example, to be able to use as time to be able to get all your conditions removed. So if we said the 3rd of April, now we're going to write in 10 days again here. And then that's going to take us to the 13th of April. Everybody with me, I hope? Now, as you notice, you've already passed their date of August 1st, right? Now, we go down to the big kicker right at the bottom is possession time. Well, normally, as you know, from the time that a date that you take all the conditions off of a home, it's usually 45, 60, 90 days after that until the time that you actually take possession. So therefore, today, I'm just using the middle of the road of 60 days. So now we have went out to as far as April 13th, and now we're going to add on 60 days. So hypothetically, now we're looking at the middle of May, the middle of June. So now we're out to June 13th. So on the bottom here, you're going to write that it's going to be approximately 118 days. It's going to take them to move, and you're going to write June 13th here. So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, now what I'm looking at that, what I'd like to point out to you is it doesn't look to me like April 1st is very realistic. What do you think? Holy, I thought I had lots of time. Well, I couldn't agree with you more. I thought you did too. But, when you look at the actual numbers, in all fairness, we probably should have been doing this like 30 days or 60 days ago. Can you see that? You can? Well, maybe what we need to do is kind of get the ball rolling right away. What do you think? Yes? Okay, great. So let's just get things started and get the home listed right now today. And that's it, gang. That's as simple as it is. And now you know where you were when you handled that objection is right at the very last part of marketing and at the very beginning of pricing. So therefore, you're ready to go ahead to pricing. So now you go back up to your bar at the top and you drop down to pricing and hit pricing. And you're going to be right into your pricing triangle, or you're going to go back one and you're going to go to fair price and estimated net. And you're going to talk about the fair price and estimated net. Fair enough. That's how we handle the timing analysis as far as if somebody says to us that they think that they have lots of time.